Hello, everyone, and thank you for um, joining us this afternoon. My name is Ali Boukbash, and I'm a training manager at BMJ. So today we're speaking about your access to BMJ Best Practice. So the plan is to go through a few slides as an introduction to BMJ Best Practice, and then we go into the website and do a little demo. We'll also speak about our new core mobilities tool, and you have access to two topics in the core mobilities tool. So I'll highlight that as we're doing our demo a little later. So BMJ Best Practice is a clinical decision support tool which is designed for use at the point of care. Best Practice is uniquely structured around the patient consultation with advice on symptom evaluation, test ordering, treatment approach, and prevention. Now, BMJ Best Practice is committed to continuous improvement with users at the heart of everything that we do. And the development of best practice has focused on our users' number one requirement, and that is to find the latest information quickly and easily whenever and wherever they need it. Our users also wanted the assurance of trusted clinical evidence, and they also value the information that is actionable and practical for use at the point of care. So best practice can help ensure better, safer care with fast access to the latest clinical information. Best practice is used by the whole multidisciplinary team. So while it's ideal for supporting new staff such as junior doctors, it's also used by nurses and pharmacists. And this is because best practice has the latest point of care information for over 90% of the most commonly presented conditions in both primary and secondary care settings. So with best practice, you can be confident in your clinical decisions with BMJ's robust evidence-based methodology. Best practice also offers direct access to drug monographs on BNF and BNF for children without interrupting your workflow. Best practice also makes joint decision making easier with access to over 450 patient leaflets. These are written by specialist patient editors using language that is easy to understand, so the medical language is explained in everyday words. And the leaflets are short and divided into easy to digest chunks. The highly rated Best Practice app is also available to you, and this can be used offline, providing you with trusted decision support information in an instant. And also, as long as you're logged into your personal account on the website or using the app, all of your search and browse activity is automatically tracked, and you can download your CPD certificates for your activity to support revalidation or appraisal. So let's talk about access. Your trust may well provide you with direct access to BMJ Best Practice, and there are other options such as EHR integration. However, all NHS healthcare professionals in England should have or should be able to access BMJ Best Practice using their Open Athens accounts. So that's what I'm showing here on the screen. So when you visit the website bestpractice.bmj.com and select login on the top right corner, you'll be taken to this page where you can select access through your institution, just there on the right hand side. You then you're taken to this page where you can search for NHS in England. You can also enter your trust name as well, but for ease of use, we've gone for NHS in England. So once you enter that, you select it from the options that appear just below. And here you can enter your Open Athens credentials in this screen. Now, if you've forgotten your password, for example, or you don't remember your username and password, there is a little link just below. It says problems signing in. Of course, the library is always happy to help with these issues. And if you don't have an Open Athens account, then you can register for one using the link that I've got on the slide there openathens.nice.org.uk. So once you've entered your details in here, Open Athens details, and click sign in, there's just one final step when you reach the BMJ Best Practice website again, and that's to create a personal account. Here, all you need to do to create an account is just enter an email address and a password, as you can see, or if you've already got an account with BMJ, then there is a login button which I've highlighted at the bottom there. Note that this is only a one-time process, so in future you won't have to do this again. You can either use your Open Athens details again in future or your BMJ personal accounts. Both of them will work. However, your personal account details will be required for your access to the BMJ Best Practice app. So those details that you've entered on the BMJ Best Practice website, meaning the email address and the password, you need those. So all you need to do in future to access the app is go onto your App Store or Google Play, search for BMJ Best Practice, download it, and then when prompted, enter that email address and password. Now, I'll go into the website and do a demo, as I said, and then we can come back and talk a little bit more about the app. So here I'm on the BMJ Best Practice site, bestpractice.bmj.com. I've already created an account, so I'm just going to log in now. So yeah, I'm just going to go in on this side of the website with my personal account details. And as I mentioned, as you've seen on those slides there, for Open Athens is through this button here on the right. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice when you log in is, of course, our search box, and that's, of course, how most of our users actually use the site, by typing their conditions, for example, or symptoms in here. Most users do, of course, go straight into a condition. So, and as I start to type, I'll have a list of suggestions for topics I can go on to, a little bit. So it's similar to Google, if you like. What you can see here on the screen are my recently viewed topics. So these are the two topics I've recently looked at, and when I click here, they appear for me just below, and I can again go directly into those as well. You'll notice that we have a link here, the covered topic. Hopefully this is just a temporary thing, but we're highlighting the topic here at the top. Below, we've got the browsing functionality, again, just highlighting the wealth of information available on BMJ Best Practice. So content on BMJ Best Practice is updated continuously, and you can always find the recent updates here. You can browse through 32 different specialties using this link here, and you can also have direct access to our evidence-based calculators. There are over 500 of them. They're also linked, of course, from within the topics as well. I mentioned the patient leaflets earlier. These are links again from within the topics, but also available from the homepage by using this link. We do have procedural videos on BMJ Best Practice, so some of the most common clinical procedures. Most of these are very high quality animations, and I do notice that with some of them, maybe a couple of them are videos. But with each of these animations, you also have a list of contraindications, indications, aftercare, and so on in text format. I'll just go into the evidence section, actually, because we've got something new in here I wanted to show you. So under evidence, we've got a few things here. So we've got the Cochrane clinical answers, and Cochrane clinical answers are integrated within the BMJ Best Practice, and you'll have links to the questions in Best Practice, and you can click on those to get through to the relevant Cochrane clinical answer. We also have the evidence-based medicine toolkit, and this is a great tool. Everything you need to know about discussing evidence-based medicine, learning about it, maybe discussing it with patients or explaining evidence-based medicine to patients, grade, how to appraise systematic reviews, lots of wonderful stuff. And the thing that I wanted to highlight is the evidence tables. This is a new addition to BMJ Best Practice, and this really allows for a better and easier way to access the evidence at the point of care. And it's a much easier way to digest evidence. So I can briefly go into one of those just now before we move on. So this is the formats. So we've got the questions here. As you can see, it brought me to a section within a condition or a topic and under evidence. And this is the format. We've got the question there. We have the evidence score. Explains what that is. These are, of course, based on grade. We've got population intervention comparator. We've got the confidence in evidence here, and I can click here for explanations of what each one means from high to very low. And then we've got these are, of course, the various outcomes. And on this side, we've got the effectiveness score. And that tells you a little bit about that, what that is. So just wanted to highlight these. And of course, at the very top, we've got a link in this particular case to a guideline, to this source of the information, if you like. So just a quick note there in relation to the evidence. And again, from the top right corner, with the other items available in that browsing bar, we've got drugs, and this will take you to BNF and BNF for children that I mentioned earlier at the start. Excuse me. Okay, so that's quick sort of run through the browsing functionality there. I also wanted to highlight the importance updates on BMJ Best Practice. You can also find them through this recent updates link, but the most recent ones, we'll keep them here on the home page. Of course, with COVID-19 is a topic that's updated on a daily basis. And what we do with these important updates is that we summarize the changes for you. We summarize the important updates for you, so you don't have to go and read lengthy guidelines, but we do provide links to the original source of the information, as you can see in this place here. And that's how we highlight the important updates on BMJ Best Practice. I will show you briefly just what a search results page looks like, and then I come back to a topic and just maybe highlight a couple of sections within the topic. So let's just go for COPD. I could, of course, have selected one of the topics from the drop-down list, but I just wanted to show you this results page. So here we've got the first results being highlighted on the right-hand side with links to various sections within that particular topic. For example, if I click on this image, it will take me to the images section within the topic, and the same applies with the other sections. So just quick links to various sections within that first topic, first results. What you can also notice is that we've got links to sections within the other topics as well. So again, just trying to get you as quickly as possible to your answer. The other thing you can do from the search results page is a look at images and videos that are relevant to your search term, just like that. Okay. Okay, so I've chosen this topic here to go through, to sort of highlight it really, to guide you through it. So you can always see the latest review date and the last updated date here in the topic, whichever topic you're looking at. You do have a sort of theory section. In a hospital setting, you'll probably be looking mainly at diagnoses and management, which that's how it's generally used. And then, of course, you have sections such as follow-up, as we mentioned earlier, and other things such as the guidelines and references used, etc., and the patient leaflets. I'll just have a look at a couple of sections within the topic. So I'll go into the recommendation section. So we've got a recommendation section within these acute topics. What we've done, also something else that we've done with the acute topics, is that we've changed the layouts and the language used, the way that we present the information, so that it's a lot more practical and actionable for use at the point of care. We've got your investigations there. Your differentials are also at the important sections within the topics, that allows the user to consider other differentials or maybe rule them out. And you can jump into those sections, those other conditions too, from the links that we provided here. Okay, so I'll jump straight into the management section. And go into the treatment algorithm. Now, BMJ Best Practice has unique treatment algorithms, which will, based on the patient group, so you've got all the patient groups within that particular condition in one place, so it's all available for the user in one place. But I wanted to highlight now as well the comorbidities tool. So if we look at this treatment algorithm, this is for a patient without any comorbidities. And as we know, comorbidities is a significant, costly global problem, and 1 in 3 adults suffers from multiple chronic conditions. And in the UK alone, 1 in 3 patients admitted to hospitals with an emergency or as an emergency have 5 or more conditions. And this, of course, poses a huge, sort of significant problem to the healthcare system. And as we know, the comorbidities or the managing the treatment patients usually with comorbidities is difficult, and guidelines tend to focus on single conditions, and failure to consider comorbidities can lead to worse clinical outcomes and longer length of stay. Now, BMJ Best Practice, or our new comorbidities tool, addresses this issue. And as I said at the start, you have access to 2 topics that come with the comorbidities tool. So one of them is this one that we're looking at now, and the second is acute exacerbations of COPD. So what it simply does is that, as we'll see here, if I click this link again, or I go into here, is that it supports healthcare professionals to treat the whole patients when they're managing the acute condition. So we can add our patients' other comorbidities, let's say diabetes, COPD, and what we get is a tailored management plan for our patients. And as you can see here, the changes are highlighted where there's been an additional information has been added based on the selections that we've added. And of course, as we know, especially for COVID-19, comorbidities play a huge role in determining the this is a huge factor basically. So what I'm doing here is simply showing you some of the additional pieces of information that have been added when we selected our existing or other existing comorbidities for our patients. And this is also available on the app, by the way. If we can look here, there's quite a lot of information that's been added to deal with our patients' other conditions. And let's say, for example, that's whilst in hospital. We're looking at mild now, but let's say whilst in hospital, our patients develops depression. So we can add that there as well. And now we've got a tailored plan for our particular patients that also includes their new condition too. So I think that's mainly it in terms of the demo. Just to highlight, as you can see, these sections, I've mentioned that we've improved the way we present the information for you at the point of care. And you will have sections when you're looking at the treatment or the management plan or treatment algorithm. You will have these sections or notes that offer support. For example, sometimes they may say when you should consider speaking to a senior colleague or seeking help from a senior colleague. We're also presenting the first line treatments very clearly for you as well. So that's the treatment algorithm. I think I'll sort of leave it at that in terms of the demo side of things. But do let me know if you've got any questions on that. And if I go back to the slides, just to highlight your access to the app, as we said earlier, the app is available to you. All you need to do, what happened there? All you need to do is excuse me. All you need to do is download the app and then sign in with your email address and password. That's the email address and password that you use when you register with us on the website. So the app has been nominated for awards, actually won numerous awards actually, and is very highly rated. I think it's 4.8 stars on both the App Store and Google Play, and it's easy to use, just as intuitive as the website. You've got your search box there in the middle. You've got some browsing functionality below, and the navigation is intuitive, and you can see that we've got there sort of the vertical navigation there, and you can move through, as we can see in this particular topic here, from one section to the other just by clicking on the sections here, looking at the treatment algorithm, and went to the section that relates to the drug and the dosages. There are a number of popular features on the site. We mentioned the patient leaflets, they're very popular. We do have another feature actually called View PDF. So if you're on a topic, you can actually download the topic as a PDF. They're very nice, a little bit long, but some people find them very useful, and it's quite popular. We've got the procedural videos are also quite popular on the site. And last but not least, we've got the CME and CPD feature. That's on the top right corner. As long as you sign in, of course, into the website, as I did just earlier, you'll have this button here appear on the top right corner, CME/CPD, and you can use that to download your certificates of activity. So that's all I wanted to highlight in terms of using the website. But if you do have any questions, then please let me know. I can, if there's any other features you'd like me to show you on the website or any other questions, then I'm happy to take them now. And thanks in advance for your time this afternoon. So I'm just gonna. So I'm not sure if you'd like to use the chat feature, or I'm happy taking using the microphone if you've got any questions. If anyone has any questions. Okay.
Hi, Ali. Is there any questions from anybody? If not, I'll stop the recording. I personally found it very, very useful. I know some of the features on there, but you've certainly highlighted a few more that I can use in searching and answering inquiries. So thank you very much.
Thanks for that. Well, thank you very much for your time. And I hope, as I said, I hope it's been useful.
Thank you, Ali. And are you doing the next one as well?
The next one for case reports?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. We'll see you then.
Excellent. Fantastic. Thanks a lot for your time, and have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you.
Good.
Bye bye.
Bye.